Hello there guys, it's Rabbit here, back with another Starcraft Broodwar Remastered cast, and today I have a game from a member of my Discord community. His name is Neblime. He has spawned here in the bottom right of Fighting Spirit. He sent me this game and said, Rabbit, this is a typical Bnet lobby game, which leads me to believe that we could well be in for some ladder shenanigans. A B rank game here for today. We don't always do the pro. Sometimes we do friends of the Discord and people that send us fun games to cast. Looking forward to this one. If you do enjoy it, please do leave a like. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe to the channel. And without any further ado, let's get into the action. Untouchable if you want to talk to me. You put hashtag WNeblime, message, don't tell me anything. Happening in the game though. Okay, so some chat here from Neblime. I have no idea why, what exactly that's all about. Maybe they were speaking to each other somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, he's playing against a Protoss, and this Protoss is on the bottom left, and looks like he's gonna go for a Nexus first. Looks like he's got absolutely no intentions of building a gateway. So this is already going to be a very spicy game. Neblime just doing a standard barracks and refinery. Has yet to send out his SCV to scout. So he will find out about this Nexus first based on the direction of his scouting probe, which we will just follow because there isn't really anything else to do right now except watch the worker's mine, which is a bit boring. So there it is. He decides to spawn. He decides to scout. A kind of a weird pattern here, checking. I don't know exactly what going this way. Probably it's just the most direct. But look at the little jet fire rockets up the arse of this SCV, giving it some power. Must be very scary being an SCV. What if one of those rockets backfires or stops firing entirely? Then you're just stuck in your like silly spacesuit and you've got to look around, and now you're having a sleep. Okay, well there we go. Now he's turned around. The probe's like, hi, how are you? No, I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm looking for you. Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking for you. So, you know, what do you want? Interestingly, now on the minimap, another SCV is going. So he's really, really keen to scout this, and so he's going to see, oh, hi, all right, it is a Nexus first. I've seen everything I need to see. I know everything I need to know. You're kind of told as Protoss that if you go Nexus first and it's close spawns, that's just really bad luck. In other words, it's really a wonderful opportunity for the Terran to give you some grief. So is he going to pull the boys? Time will tell. He does get his probe in. His probe dies. Already a factory on the way. No attempt to make a command center as of yet. So what does Neblime do here? We'll have to wait and see. So just some more chilled out vibes here on the Rabbit channel. Just finished work and decided, well, I've got about an hour, maybe an hour and a half between now and the next thing I need to be doing. So what better thing is there to do with my day than cast some Broodwar, man? So here come the boys. It is 3 Marines and 7 SCVs. That just seems to be the magic number. Here's number 8, the scouting one. So 8 and 3, they're going to go and surround the Zealot, who's going to have a really rough day if he tries to fight this head on. And so the bunker is coming up. This is going to be out of range of this Nexus, surely. Yep. He kind of heard me saying that. And here comes the Vulture as well. So any more Zealots coming out of here, not really going to be the answer. Dragoon does pop. Range is on the way. How far is the range? Not even halfway yet. So this Nexus is going to fall. The question one always has is, once the Terran does this, how do they capitalize on the situation, right? So presumably behind this, the Neblime is going to try and get mines. He's just going for it, man. So instead of going back with these SCVs, he's just trying to move here up onto the high ground here. 3 goons though. That's quite a lot of muscle from this Protoss. And yes, the SCVs are painful, but he can micro them against this. So he does lose 2 SCVs. No goons lost, just the shield damage there. So I think the Neblime, thinking better of carrying on, does repair this Vulture. he'd do well to head home. So he has taken his expansion behind this, and I think all in all, probably a decent amount of parity. Mines are going to be what protects him now from a counter. Does move out this Protoss with these couple of rangeless goons. Always a sad thing to see a goon without range. You can shoot like from here to there. So sad. So it looks like he's heading home. We'll probably pop a bunker down, and a couple of mines as well. And then I think from there, once the mine research is complete, he'll be protected from any goons that want to waltz up here to his front door. And then the game from there should probably just normalize. So Nexus re-established. Robotics facility is well and truly on the way. Observers will be in the game soon. So, you know, I think where Artosis always tilts in this match is that Terran successfully kills the Nexus and then doesn't really gain much of an edge, right? So Terran's behind 2 workers, don't have a supply lead, don't really have, I mean, okay, yes, he does have a command center that is building workers, whereas the Protoss does not yet have a second Nexus. But on the flip side to that, you watch, this Protoss will look to expand to a 3rd base pretty darn fast and then get parity back again. So there is the mine. Kind of anticipating that this was likely from the Protoss. So he takes the hit and chases that vulture away. He's probably just going to camp here on the high ground, and with these goons nice in position on the bridge, there'll be very little Neblime can do to deny what will be a relatively quick 3rd when you consider that the Nexus first was lost. So siege mode on the way. Looks like Neblime is going to siege up, settle down. No bunker. I think he was quite comfortable that the mines would do the trick, and now he just seems to be making tanks non-stop out of this first factory. Second factory's on the way, CompSat's on the way, just in case it's DTs or anything funny like that. Then he should be able to keep an eye. He's skipped engineering bay for the time being, so no turrets as of yet. I know it's obviously very popular to play Reaver, but it doesn't look like our Protoss is keen on Reavers. He doesn't have a support bay at this stage. He's taking his 3rd behind this, so it's going to be interesting to see the tech tree. But if I could make a prediction, there's no second gas yet, there's no citadel yet, so it really is, it's very hard to tell. But whatever the tech is, it ain't going to be fast. Okay, so Neblime Knights are going up to 4 factories. Observer comes in, sees all of this, so can see, okay, well, that looks pretty aggressive. If you're going up to 4 factories and you are not, there's the eBay, so you will be able to make some turrets if he feels it's necessary. Very, very nice spread of vultures here from Neblime, really getting a good view. So 2 mines, and then a vulture over here and a vulture over here. So great map vision. Basically has got the entire scouting pattern down. This is sneaky. So if Neblime didn't scan here, he's going to miss the fact that the support bay has come up. So it is going to be a Reaver, which does explain the lack of gas. You can get away with Reaver build going 1 gas, which is what's happening here. So now we need to trace the shuttle to see what damage it does. There are 2 zealots inside. Once the Reaver pops out, then it's going to be the Reaver completing what goes into the shuttle, and the damage will be done. So Neblime scanned and anticipated that that might be a risk, has put up a couple of turrets in his natural, and we see 1 turret in the main so far. Doesn't really have any units positioned in the main as of yet. Protoss is now moving out onto the map, and so is Neblime, just laying mines. I like the observer placement from the Protoss. I think he's got a pretty good idea of the movement. This is nice and snug behind the racks. He's moved his army and has now moved it back. Reaver inside the shuttle, making another Reaver, getting shuttle speed. So obviously going to try and do a speed drop. Now making the Citadel, so perhaps it'll be a transition from the Reaver open to High Templars, but if he wants to go High Templars, he's definitely going to need a second gas sooner rather than later. So yeah, man, the Rabbit Root channel. We are going to be basically casting exclusively Protoss games. So Protoss versus Zerg, Protoss versus Terran. There doesn't seem to be much of a demand for mirror matches. I mean, I could certainly do mirror matches. If you'd like to see me do some mirror matches, in other words, Protoss versus Protoss, do let me know. But historically, from what I've seen on YouTube, that is not really where there is much demand. I don't mind doing a Terran versus Zerg. I just feel like, you know, in terms of my knowledge, it isn't my strongest game or match by any stretch of the imagination. And when I'm casting the pro Terrans versus Zergs, I just feel like I don't understand the match well enough to cast it well, you know, where I'm happy with it. Protoss matches and Protoss players, though, I feel very confident with. I play this race. I've studied this match a lot. You know, Protoss versus Terran, Protoss versus Zerg. So, you know, that's what I'll be doing for the time being. But I'm always open to requests. So if people would like me to cast mirrors or cast Terran versus Zerg, I'm happy to do it. I've done it a lot before, and I'm not saying I've done it badly necessarily, but it's just I don't have the confidence in that match as what I would do in the Protoss matches. Okay, so we're sweeping some mines. We do not have a third base, so we are preparing to push out off of our about to be 5 factories, so our 4 factory production. I think pushing out in the sense that we're trying to establish a third and take some ground. So Protoss decides to try and pounce on this. I don't think that these goons are going to be very long for this world if he doesn't pull back here. The vultures are tanking quite nicely, and there's about 5 tanks that these goons are miles away from. Eventually the speed shuttle comes into the fight. It's going to drop down a Reaver, and that's all. And the Reaver basically disappeared in a second, but it did give an opportunity for him to get these zealots on top. And suddenly what was looking like a really bad attack from Protoss has eliminated or at least reduced the tank count somewhat. Decent micro though from Neblime, getting these Goliaths and these vultures in between the zealots and the tanks. Oh no, a couple of mine drags there. That really hurts. So Neblime's tank count is basically reset. More zealots coming in here. I don't really know offhand what our gateway count is. I see a star gate coming in, so probably Arbiter tech tree behind this, or perhaps carriers. We'll have to check. But Neblime is under pressure to hold on here. Mines are really proving to be his best friend though. So wants to try and get these guys up here. If he sieges up on the high ground and the vultures block the entrance, I think he'll be in a good spot. He does exactly that as I say it. So like any good Protoss, the attack goes really well and then he overextends and probably throws more units than he otherwise had to do. Second gas is up and third gas is up. This tells me Arbiter. No, it's carrier. Alright, so we're getting 3 stargates. We've got the 3 gases running. It's 3 base carrier. 3 base carrier, very common on Fighting Spirit because of these areas around the naturals and around the expansions. There's just plenty of opportunity for you to micro your carriers in spaces that Goliaths are unable to get to. So certainly a popular choice for those reasons. So our Terran, our Protoss overextended a little bit there, but certainly a good attack in the sense that Neblime's tank count has gone from, he had about 7 or 8, I think now he's got 2. 2, and yeah, it's 2. I love his mine placement though. Still got wonderful vision on the map. Knows that basically the Protoss is concentrated on this half of the map only because of his mines, which is excellent. I think as a Terran player, having vision and understanding where you are is very, very, very important. This Protoss's APM is also slowed down a little bit, so obviously when you're not needing to set up your build and just execute remacroing, it's fine. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it's 7 gates, making another Reaver interestingly. But now this just seems to be a serious commitment to the carriers. He's getting his upgrades. A couple of skirmishes here. Neblime's now up to about 3 tanks. How many tanks is he making at a time? He's making 1 tank at a time. I guess it makes sense. He's obviously scanned the Protoss's base. I mean, this is not exactly hidden, right? This is, if you scanned, you would maybe not see it on the first scan, but you could certainly see it on another. I'm about to miss a fight though. Oh my god, the mine drags. These tanks are in serious danger. Once again, the very, very small tank count of Neblime How is Neblime going to hold on here? This is a lot of Protoss. I reckon if he just pushes, he could probably overwhelm him here. I don't know how Neblime holds on. Good patience from the Protoss, just picking off mines. I think if the Protoss knew that this was absolutely all Neblime had, he could probably just A-move his army here and end the game. I don't really know why he feels reluctant to try. Behind this, he's up to 3, soon to be 4 carriers. He could be making a carry out of the Stargate. That Stargate's not blinking. Ow, that hurts. So he wants to try and expand, and he obviously tripped a few mines. These Zealots are on hold position, are just being picked off for free. So I'm not quite understanding the movement pattern from the Protoss there. But did choose not to engage, which I'm not sure was the right call. Meanwhile, Neblime's third, which I was negligent to point out, has been established and is up and running. So we have a 3-basing Terran versus a 3-basing Protoss, which is problematic for the Protoss. And perhaps, you know, if that may have been one of the reasons why the Protoss wasn't too motivated to take that attack. He's going to try and establish a base here with the Vulture. Bit cheeky, but got 4 tanks, got Goliaths. He's obviously scanned the carriers, that's why he's got the Goliaths, and he's expecting to need to build up a Goliath count. So from his 7 facts, he's going 4 Vultures and 3 Goliaths. This Vulture's still having a good time shooting away at this Nexus. I wonder what, if anything... it's going to be the shuttle. I was going to say, I wonder what, if anything, this Protoss is going to send to actually tidy this up, because this is just annoying more than anything else. Meanwhile, Neblime establishing a 4th base here, which be interesting to see if the Protoss scouts this. If he doesn't shut that down, he's going to have a very tough time winning this game, because then Neblime's macro power is going to become devastating. He has actually caught up in supply beautifully. The gap is reduced, and now it looks like he wants to set up a push of his own here. The carriers, though, have arrived. I was hearing them, and I couldn't see them. They've come to say, hi, we're carriers, and we like to shoot things. So around about a control group of Goliaths here available. And so they show themselves now officially and enter the fray. Meanwhile, a very, very strong flank of Dragoons and Zealots on what is a very small amount of tanks. So they're going to take this down pretty easily and reset Neblime's tank count once again. Neblime has got heaps of SCVs. The vast majority of his 132 supply is SCVs. He's going to try and fight Dragoons and Zealots with Goliaths. There's no upgrades on the ground units, which I think is perhaps he's missing a little bit of a trick here, because it's 1-1-1, or it's probably going to be 2-1 pretty soon. So, you know, you would want your ground units, your Zealots and your Dragoons perhaps to at least have +1 ground attack. Anyway, so now our squadron of 7 carriers seems to want to try and fight these Goliaths head on. I don't know if that's a great idea. You want to try and have at least some combination of Dragoons and carriers so that they can soak up some shots and pick off some of these Goliaths. Decent micro here from this Protoss. He does seem to understand how to play with carriers at least a little bit, and this is what you want. You want your ground units to kind of front up a little bit. And then have your carriers pick off the Goliaths while they're firing away at the ground units. So we do have a tank and a couple of Vultures that have entered the fray. Perhaps an opportunity for Neblime to lay a few mines. He does that as we say it. And yeah, it's been a contest where it looks like Protoss has been in control the whole game. But Neblime, to his credit, is holding on tight. He's got 4 running bases, which is very, very powerful. Our Protoss has got his 4th base up and running all the way on the top of the map, and is potentially looking at establishing another base over here. But I think for now, most of his APM and his energy is going into microing these carriers, and most of Neblime's APM and energy is going into just not dying, right? so that's where we are in terms of this game. It's been an entertaining one, man. I'd like to thank Neblime for sending me the replay and the recommendation through my Discord. And if you're enjoying the game, please do hit that like button. And yeah, send me a comment to say, hey, Rabbit, that was a fun game. I'll be like, oh, cool, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I do have a very good reply and engagement rate on my on my comments on my videos. So I pride myself on giving the people the time that they deserve who have chosen to engage with me on my videos, because it means a lot to me. It really does. Probe transfer up here, so that's cool. 57 workers on 4 bases, probably okay, decent saturation. This is now 11 carriers, which is a terrifying amount. And I don't really know. Neblime seems to still just be on 6 factories. Should he have more? He's made 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he's making 2 more factories, so he can go up to 8 or 9 probably. I think 9 factories is probably the sweet spot. A couple of mines here. Now, oh my god, what's going to stop these zealots waltzing in the front door here? Or mines for those 2. And Goliaths for these. Goliaths do really well against zealots, man. That was beautiful. Wow. That really did not go well for Protoss. And that's where I said the upgrades is certainly a problem. Or the lack thereof. Because those zealots just got shredded. And they've got no upgrades. He's still got nothing. In fact, he doesn't look like he even has a forge. Sorry, I'm not watching. I'm being a total numpty. I was just curious to know whether he had a forge, because he's got 0-0 ground. Finds the 4th base of Terran here, and we've got a lot of turrets, a lot of Goliaths, a lot of interceptors going off. It's like it's raining interceptors. Interestingly, the APM of our Protoss player goes down when he's microing carriers. That command center is gone. Cheers. Bye-bye. So Neblime's going to have to re-establish that base. And perhaps now he'll take an opportunity to pick off a few mines, or try and pressure the main. I mean, what's stopping you flying straight in here, knocking down these factories? That's really possibly a prime target for your carriers. Got a little bit of micro here, flying over this water, which is a good spot, and probably just going to chill over here. Meanwhile, there's something else happening somewhere. I've heard it in my headset, but I cannot see it, which is super annoying when that happens. The red versus blue is perfect color, but some tanks are up here and they killed this pylon. All right. And the carriers have flown across there and been like, that's cool, we will kill you, so take that. Okay, so what I was saying earlier is there's no forges, right? Oh, we made a DT, that's cool. We don't have a forge, so we couldn't make a cannon if we wanted one, which is, you know, probably a cannon or 2 here would be a little bit handy, because this is Goliaths that don't have a range edge. So it looks like Terran's just going to waltz in here and grief the natural. I think he hit it with an EMP, which, oh my god, the impact on the shields is huge. Here's that sign of a carrier dying. So these tanks have kind of just been left. There is a DT swiping away at a gateway. Okay, well, you kill that gateway, man. Good job, son. So down they come. Vultures are going to be really good against these DT. He seems to have scans for days. Carriers have now moved into the main base. Another scan. Neblime's got all his scanners hotkeyed, as all good Terrans do. And I don't think he's going to be able to get up here and do much more damage. His carriers have got the high ground. They're not really taking any direct body shots. He's only really killing interceptors. But this is... this is fun to watch. I just hear Dark Templars dying. What is this new unit comp of yours, Mr. Protoss? I'm going carrier DT. Not a thing, friend. But obviously you figured eventually you'd run out of scans. So that seems to be now. So you've got to run. Do you really have no scans left? Okay, well, that doesn't have a scanner on it. That's got 40 energy. That's got 3. Okay, so he uses that scanner. Couple of DTs still swonking away, but that one's been spotted from the scan. And these ones... Okay, so the scan's obviously worn off. So these DTs are actually being super duper annoying. So wow, this is very different. What the hell? Neblime taking the middle base. No fear. Let's go. I heard the scanner. There we go. So tidies it up. Another base being established here by the Protoss. Crazy game. Absolutely crazy game. Just non-stop carriers, ground units. Have we built a forge yet? Nah. Forges are fancy. We don't need that rubbish. So no forges required. Carriers see this command center now and should think, maybe I should kill it. Or just keep going. Because there is a couple of tanks and goodies threatening you over here. A little bit of decent Reaver micro. Two shots from this tank unsieged. Kills a Reaver. That's nuts, man. Anyway, carriers have come back. Big brother carriers come to look after any base thwarting that was happening. Must be an observer. Yeah, there must be an observer with us, I was going to say, because shooting these mines. I don't know what on earth, if anything, is stopping him just waltzing across here and killing this base. Vessel is in play. Takes it out quickly. Takes it out again. Loses the carrier though. We hear that noise of the dead carrier. There were some carriers just parked here. Why are you not putting these 3 carriers in play? I do not know. I think this Protoss has just forgotten that they are there, but it would be certainly very, very handy to add them to these carriers. I cannot now select them because the interceptors are coming back, but if I had to do an estimate on the number, I'd say there's about 6 or 7 here. And 6 or 7 would be certainly much more juicy if it was 9 or 10. So Siege is up here again with a handful of factory units. Loses a whole heap of probes. He was on 58, he's now on 34, so the econ harassment has certainly done some damage. And once again, the carriers can't be everywhere. A lot of these have pretty low health too, I might add. There's no interceptors here, so we can get them. No, we can't get the number. Damn you, man. There should be no interceptors. You should just give me the... Anyway, okay, here we come. So he tries to save the Nexus. This Nexus got so little health, he's just going to target fire it down. So... takes down another base. This base is... Oh, we made a forge. Cool. We're not upgrading though, because that's just not what we're doing. But it looks like Neblime with the upgrades, the scalability of Terran, the fact that he's kept his bases online, 3-3. Upgrades are really making a huge difference here. Meanwhile, these damn DTs are back. Hacking away at the tanks and all the goodies that are here. He's going to get himself a lot of juicy SCVs. I honestly didn't expect to see freaking DTs at this level. Anyway. You don't know what to expect in a Bnet lobby game. That's what makes the game so damn beautiful. So we have to re-establish this base. Protoss' base is running nicely. Protoss is out of money though. No money here. No money here. No money here. Only this base. So if Protoss doesn't get this base or this base up and running pretty soon, this base is gone. Neblime knocked that down beautifully not too long ago. And nothing is established here. So I really like this game for Terran just simply on a macro premise. So this Protoss has owned a lot of this game with his carriers, but he's just running out of money. And problem is carriers are a very mineral intensive strategy, right? Because you've got to keep replacing the interceptors, otherwise the carriers just become giant floating vessels of useless. Without the interceptors, they are absolutely worthless to you. There's a storm. Hello. Obviously seeing he had a lot of gas researching storm. Now suddenly storm becoming, although I think he seemed to storm a lot of his own Dark Templars. But the storm's very handy because it threw a hell of a lot of splash damage onto the Goliaths, which are the biggest threat in terms of biggest threat to the carriers from a Protoss point of view. A few more carriers, a few more Goliaths do come through to attack these carriers. Did he ever bring this? Okay, he did finally bring these carriers to the fight. That's good. Tidying up here quite nicely. But I'm hearing carriers die. Makes a very, very distinctive noise, the carriers dying. Another storm being thrown down. That's pretty good. Couple more carriers getting into the red. Here's another one about to die. So this game is just really, really close. 105 plays 94. Neblime moving into supply lead for the first time ever. If he gets some units, even if he just does a dropship and drops a few tanks here, that base is in a heap of trouble. He's re-established this base again. To his credit, Neblime's done really well in re-establishing bases that have gotten knocked down. And our Protoss is just about trying to establish a base, which is probably where his energy should be going. Is actually just sending his carriers around for the sake of map control to establish a new base of operations, because not only did Neblime re-establish this, he's also now established a new base, which these Archons have found. You pesky Archons. So the Goliaths have gone now to attack these Archons, but they've been intercepted by the carriers. So I don't know how many have gone to have a look. These SCVs have been like, ah, no, we're good. It's all good, guys. It was just a temporary problem. It's all been solved. I'm sure our brothers in battle will protect us from any future harassment from those funny, shiny lightning men. Oh, no, crap. The lightning men are back. And they'll be killing the command center. So he's not even too worried about the workers. Just trying to shut down the command center. Meanwhile, this base is sort of still running relatively unharassed. The carrier count's still pretty strong. Hasn't reduced too drastically. And he's not really mixed in. He's got money again, which is ironic because he has no bases. Not spending his money on ground units, right? So no ground units of any kind. No Dragoons. He's made a few Templars, which he's turning into Archons. That was him just converting his gas. But surely some Dragoons to fight against these Goliaths would be helpful to some degree. Alright. So we've repaired this command center. We didn't lose it. Goliaths are the unit of that. Look at that! He made Dragoons. I promise you he's not listening to me, right? I don't have an earpiece in saying, hey, make Dragoons! And then they listen. That's definitely not what happened. Promise. Alright. So this base is up and running. This base is up and running. I think Neblime is going to win just because of the most simple premise of StarCraft, which is StarCraft is about whoever has the most money, right? So there is no... He kills the SCV eventually, but that's a cannon. Cannon's very helpful, but where's your Nexus? He's long distance mining. Well, there we go. That's always fun. Vessel goes down. We only have 5 carriers left. We don't have money to make more carriers. We don't have money for interceptors. We're killing every single probe as it is coming to return its cargo to a Nexus. Wow, these probes got away. That is insane. There's only 4 Goliaths left here though, 100 to 101. However, with the worker deficit, it's actually 60 to 100 in terms of like army composition. So it's pretty heavily weighted towards the Protoss in terms of actual units. Neblime in theory should be able to make stuff because he's mining, right? So it's just a matter of time before he's able to build up a critical mass of units. Some Dragoons have entered the fray. We're actually making a Nexus here, which is great because that whole long distance mining is probably not the most sustainable thing. So our carriers are heading back this way to try and shut down what is now 2 new bases of operation. Once again, Neblime's Goliaths are probably not quite at a critical mass, but they are slowing him down, intercepting his units, so he can't go and harass that base uncontested. Is he got something coming to reinforce here? Yep, so another round of Goliaths to come through. He's basically Goliath man now, because I suppose mixing anything else into the composition doesn't really make too much sense. This Nexus is still not done, so we're enjoying our long distance mining. 24 minerals in total. That's just insane. But he still can't quite get the units he needs. Although this isn't going too badly. That first Archon goes down. But the target firing is pretty good there. He got himself a carrier. He understands that this Protoss has got no money, so killing the carriers is really the primary objective here. Once those go, everything else becomes relatively easy. Also some long distance mining happening here. This is clearly a thing. We like long distance mining in this game. So our 4 carriers have arrived with the ground support, and this command center goes down very, very quickly, along with a whole heap of workers. And I expect that this command center could well face a very, very similar fate. Shame, this Zealot is having such a good day. Killing 5 SCVs. Nice storm there. So the number of SCVs that Neblime had is very, very quickly going down. And sadly, he only has 5, 7... Okay, so he's got some Goliaths that he's managing to amass. But his SCV count has basically been decimated there. It's not as low as the Protoss's 20 workers, which are probably all just working here. But it's pretty low. Although, hang on. Hi! This vulture just rocked up. He's gotten stormed and he died. Got himself 2 kills. So the only other running base of operation from an income point of view, the carriers have now got to. So this game has been crazy. Once again, re-establishing a base here. This command center never died. Or if it did, all the workers at it are not working. So Neblime says, fine, all your units are over there and they're a bit slow. So I'm going to move my Goliaths into position and kill every single one of your probes, which I've now done. We've got 8 probes left, so they weren't all working here. Some of them obviously mining gas. And I'm going to kill your Nexus. You have got 328 minerals. You don't actually have enough money to remake a Nexus, which means you need to kill me now with the units you've got. So that was a beautiful move from our Terran. He moves up onto the high ground to try and take the fight with the carriers from a better spot. He does not have money to remake interceptors, so if he wastes interceptors now and the Goliaths get that, that's a good storm though. He got a lot of splash across all of these Goliaths. You can see how it's impacted the health meters. But oh, and another juicy storm there, beautifully done. Bearing in mind he is mining again here in the middle. It's resourceful, man. He can keep finding a way to make money. Oh, the storms! The clutch storms! His Goliath count has been brought down to 2! Oh, no, it was so close. This is insane. He's got no money to re-establish a base. So the question really is, can he go and kill the remaining mining base with what he has left? He's got 8 workers. He can long distance mine from somewhere. The problem is the vultures will kind of just be all over those. I'm trying to target down some of these High Templars who have, by the way, been a masterstroke. They were introduced quite late into this game, but the impact that the High Templars have made with some clutch storms, particularly in that last little skirmish up here, and reducing that 10 to 12 Goliaths down to nothing with a couple of storms, that was really impactful. And a couple more big storms here on the SCV line, a couple of big storms here on these tanks. I don't think there's enough in terms of Goliaths. There's only 3 here to fight the remaining 4 carriers. There storms is a little bit of a whiff. Bearing in mind though, once the interceptors are gone, it's gone. He hasn't really been rebuilding interceptors. In fact, he hasn't been building anything. He's just kind of been microing his remaining 3 carriers, and that's where they are here. So you can see there's a handful of interceptors, but does take it down. He's got 2 carriers left. There's one. It's got 1 carrier left, and there's 1 Goliath left. This is insane. And there's not much health on this carrier. A couple more. Oh, but he does get the Goliath. But I think Neblime's going to have a few more units coming through. Yes, he does. He's got 4 more Goliaths. This is going to be more than enough. So this, I don't know why the siege tank's sieging up, but that's neither here. He kills the last carrier. Neblime, you biscuits. He held on. What a game. That was one of the closest games I have ever streamed. It was really, really brilliant. I mean, the amount of times that he re-established this base and this base and then took the middle, lost the middle, took the middle, lost the middle, an insane back and forth, very, very fun carrier game. I think in a nutshell, the Protoss lost it because they took forever to establish another base. If he'd used the map control that he gained from the carriers, he could have and should have established himself another couple of bases up here. And if those were up and running and he was getting that income going, then I think he would have taken it. There was also a window at about 14 minutes in the game where he had 160 supply versus about 100, where I think he could have just moved across the map here and ended it. So a couple of mistakes from our Protoss, but that doesn't take away from the tenacity and the determination and just the sheer grit that Neblime put up to win this game. It was awesome. I had a lot of fun. Thanks again for sending me the replay. And if you enjoyed this game, consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel. I'm here a lot. I'm having fun. And I'll see you again soon. Take it easy.